Hey there, fellow storytellers. Have you heard of transmedia storytelling? It's the art of weaving narratives across multiple platforms, creating immersive experiences that captivate audiences like never before. But here's the catch. Building a successful transmedia project can feel like navigating a labyrinth blindfolded. Fear not, my friends, for the principles of lean startup are here to guide us. Imagine a world where you could test your story ideas early on, gather feedback from your target audience, and adapt your narrative based on real-time data. That's the power of lean startup for transmedia. It's like having a magical crystal ball that reveals what your audience craves before they even know it themselves. In this whirlwind tour of lean startup for transmedia, we'll unlock the secrets to creating engaging, audience-centric narratives that spread like wildfire. So, buckle up, grab your storytelling hats, and get ready to revolutionize the way you tell stories. This is going to be epic. Let's kick things off with the cornerstone of lean startup, the build, measure, learn loop. This loop is the heartbeat of innovation, a cycle that keeps your creative process alive and thriving. Picture it as a trusty compass guiding you through the unpredictable terrain of transmedia storytelling. Just like a compass helps you find your way in the wilderness, the build, measure, learn loop helps you navigate the complex landscape of audience engagement and content creation. Step 1. Build. This is where you bring your story idea to life, but hold your horses. We're not talking about a full-blown production just yet. Instead, think of it as planting a seed. You start small, with a concept that can grow and evolve over time. Start with a minimum viable product, MVP, a small-scale representation of your narrative designed to test your assumptions. This MVP is your first step into the world, a way to see if your idea has legs before you invest too much time and resources. Step 2. Measure. Once your MVP is out in the wild, it's time to listen closely to your audience. Their reactions are your roadmap, guiding you to what works and what doesn't. Track their engagement, gather feedback, and analyze the data. This isn't just about numbers, it's about understanding the story behind the numbers. What are people saying? How are they interacting with your content? What's resonating with them? What's falling flat? This feedback is gold. It tells you where to focus your efforts and what to change. Step 3. Learn. This is where the magic happens. Learning from your audience's feedback allows you to refine and perfect your story. It's an ongoing process of discovery and improvement. Armed with valuable insights from your audience, you can now iterate and improve your story. This is your chance to make your narrative even more compelling and engaging. Tweak your narrative, refine your characters, or even pivot to a different platform. The goal is to create a seamless and immersive experience that captivates your audience across multiple touch points. By embracing this iterative process, you'll create a transmedia experience that is not only engaging, but also tailored to the desires of your audience. It's a win-win situation. Your audience gets a story they love, and you get the satisfaction of knowing you've created something truly special. Remember that magical crystal ball I mentioned earlier? The one that could predict the future and tell you exactly what your audience wants? Well, validated learning is the next best thing. It's a powerful tool that allows you to gather real, actionable insights from your audience. It's all about gathering concrete evidence to support your creative decisions. This means going beyond just guessing or assuming what might work. Instead of relying on gut feelings or assumptions, validated learning encourages you to test your hypotheses rigorously. This approach ensures that your creative process is grounded in reality. Think of it as conducting scientific experiments with your story. Just like a scientist tests theories in a lab, you can test your creative ideas with your audience. Ask yourself, what do I need to learn to validate my assumptions? What specific questions do I need to answer to move forward confidently? How can I design an experiment to test this hypothesis? What methods will give me the most reliable data? For instance, let's say you're developing a Transmedia mystery series and believe that incorporating puzzles into your narrative will enhance audience engagement. This is a great hypothesis, but it needs to be tested. Instead of diving headfirst into puzzle creation, start by testing this assumption with a small group of beta testers. This initial step can save you a lot of time and resources. Present them with a simple puzzle related to your story and track their reactions. Observe how they interact with the puzzle and gather feedback on their experience. By analyzing their engagement, you can gather valuable data to determine whether puzzles truly resonate with your target audience. Look at metrics like time spent on the puzzle, completion rates, and overall satisfaction. This data-driven approach minimizes risks and maximizes your chances of creating a truly captivating transmedia experience. By listening to your audience and validating your ideas, you can ensure that your creative projects are not only innovative, but also deeply engaging and successful. Section 4, Innovation Accounting, Measuring What Matters. Because numbers are fun, right? Now let's talk numbers, shall we? Don't worry, I promise to keep it as painless as possible. Innovation accounting is all about tracking the right metrics to measure the success of your transmedia project. Traditional accounting methods often fall short when it comes to innovative projects like transmedia storytelling. That's where innovation accounting comes in, providing you with a framework to track your progress and make informed decisions. Instead of focusing solely on vanity metrics like social media followers or website traffic, innovation accounting emphasizes actionable metrics that directly reflect the health of your project. These metrics might include audience engagement, conversion rates, or customer lifetime value. By regularly monitoring these key metrics, you can gain a clear understanding of what's working well and what needs improvement. It's like having a financial dashboard for your transmedia project, allowing you to steer it in the right direction. Section 5, MVP, your transmedia testing ground. Don't be afraid to start small. Now, let's revisit the concept of the minimum viable product, MVP. Your secret weapon for testing the waters before diving headfirst into production. The MVP is a fundamental principle in the lean startup methodology, which emphasizes efficiency and learning through iterative processes. Remember, in the world of lean startup, it's all about starting small, learning fast, and iterating rapidly. This approach allows you to minimize risks and maximize learning, ensuring that your final product is well informed by real user feedback. Your MVP should be a bare-bones representation of your transmedia narrative, designed to test your key assumptions with minimal investment. Think of it as a prototype that captures the essence of your story, characters, and world, but without all the bells and whistles. It's not about creating a perfect polished product right from the get-go. Instead, it's about getting something functional and representative out there quickly. Instead, focus on developing a prototype that allows you to gather feedback and validate your hypotheses. This feedback loop is crucial for refining your ideas and ensuring that your final product resonates with your audience. Let's say you're developing a transmedia experience centered around a dystopian future. This could involve multiple platforms and media types, from books and games to social media and interactive websites. Your MVP could be a simple text-based adventure game hosted on a basic website. This allows you to test your core narrative, character interactions, and world building without investing significant resources, inexpensive graphics, or complex gameplay. This allows you to test your core narrative, character interactions, and world building without investing significant resources in expensive graphics or complex gameplay. By focusing on the essentials, you can quickly identify what works and what doesn't. By launching your MVP early and often, you'll gain invaluable insights from your audience, allowing you to iterate and refine your transmedia experience before committing to a full-scale production. This iterative process helps you stay agile and responsive to user needs and preferences. Remember, it's better to course correct early on than to invest heavily in a project that misses the mark. Embrace the MVP mindset and don't be afraid to start small. Your transmedia testing ground is a space for experimentation, learning, and growth. Use it wisely and you'll be well on your way to creating a compelling and successful transmedia experience.